Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to work on the neckbands of the two bubbles. Now, I've already sewn the neckband on to the first one, and as you can see, I have smocked the top row. And my neckband is fairly small. I really don't like really wide neckbands. Okay, so let me put this one off to the side and we'll work on the second of the two jumpsuits and I'll show you how I did that. Now I still have the center front of the jumpsuit marked with my blue fabric marking pen. I'm gonna get this stretched out here. Okay, and I've got my neckband piece and I've already folded it in half and made a little blue mark at the center of the neckband piece. So I'm going to line up my blue mark with my center blue mark of the jumpsuit, and I'm going to begin to pin this into place. Then I'm going to work over here to the right. Now, as you recall, I still have my top two pleating threads in the jumpsuit, and I tied that off until it was the same length as the neckband piece. Okay, so that helps me when I go to put the neckband on. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch extending past the end of the placket, which is sticking out. And I'm going to begin to pin this neckband into place, just easing the pleats along the neckband. Put a pin in about every 1 inch. That way it stays nice and neat. Like I said, don't be concerned about using lots of pins, because when you're doing heirloom sewing, for me, the more pins I use, the more precision I seem to have. So like I said, just put a pin in about every 1 inch so that it stays nice and precise. Okay, so I've got one side pinned, and I still have to pin the other side, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that entire neckband pinned into place. Now I'm going to sew from the inside of the jumpsuit. Now as you can see, my top smocking row is right along the top. So what I'm going to do with my sewing machine, I'm going to sew immediately to the right of the top smocking line. And don't sew on the smocking line, because you might pierce your pleating thread and it makes it hard to get that to come out. So I'm going to begin to sew. Let me go backward and forward just a couple of stitches to tack that into place. And take your pins out as you come to them. That kind of, because sometimes the pins will make your pleats look a little bit wonky from the front. Like I said, just sew right to the right, immediately to the right of that top smocking row. Okay, this is going to take me a minute to get all the way to the end, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that sewn on, and as I check it from the front side, my pleats are nice and smooth so that I can come back and smock that top row. Okay, now I need to pin this neckband into place. So I'm going to fold down the top of the neckband. And then from over here where the buttonholes are, I will fold inside the little 1/4 of an inch that was hanging over and then bring it down again. And that gives me a nice, neat corner or nice, neat edge. And I don't have any raggedy ends poking out. So I will carefully pin this neckband down all along the inside of the garment, of the neck hole opening. Okay, now when I get to the other end, I'll treat the other end the way I did the first end. I've got the neckband folded up, then fold the top of the neckband down, bring the little part that's extending past the placket into the right, and then fold it down again so that we have a nice, neat little edge. I got a thread hanging out here. I'll have to trim that off. And then just proceed, like I said, to pin this neckband into place so that we can stitch it into place with a needle and thread. There. Okay, now off camera, I'll take a needle and thread and I'll do some little 3/16 of an inch whip stitches to tack that neckband into place. But I'll be right back. Okay, I've got this neckband tacked down almost all the way. So as I get to the end, I'm going to take my pin out and then make sure my little ends are tucked in nice and neatly where I don't have any raggedy edges that are poking out. And then using some, like I said, 3/16 of an inch stitches, just tack that neckband into place. Oops, I got a knot in my thread. There we go. Okay. And we just want to make sure that this end stays nice and neat. Okay, now when I get to the end, I'm going to tack a couple of stitches in place to hold it, and then I'm going to sew back about a 1/2 inch before I actually tie my thread off. And this prevents my knot from being right at the end. Now I did something similar when I started on the neckband. I didn't show that to you, but I started sewing about a 1/2 inch inside, worked my way to the end, and then came back down again. Okay, so now I can tie my thread off. Okay, that gets the neckband all in place. Okay, now from the outside, we have a small neckband that's pretty much, that's evenly the same size all the way along. Okay, now what I can do next is I can pull my pleating threads out. Clip the knot off. Grab the pleating thread from the other side. And if we didn't sew on the pleating thread, it should just pull right out. Okay, now I need to go get my smocking thread and do a row of cable right up underneath that neckband, and then we'll be finished with the second of the little garments. But let me go get my smocking thread and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm finishing up my top row of smocking along the top. The pleats, if you back smocked before you sewed the neckband on, when you were smocking, the pleats shouldn't be wonky. If you had it tied off the width of the neckband, the pleats shouldn't be any tighter than when they were when you were doing the rest of the smocking. So just pick up one pleat at a time and smock a row of cable right up along the top. Now the reason I do this is if you try to smock that top row before you put the neckband on, I have struggled with getting the neckband on straight without sewing on top of my top row of smocking. So doing the top row of smocking after the neckband is on just works out really well. So let me finish smocking and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have the smocking completed on the second of the little jumpers, and as you can see, that makes a nice smooth line. In the next video, we'll start to work on the sleeve cuffs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a red satin stitch to hem it, and then sew in a row of elastic. But I need to do that before I can do the arm seams. But now we have both jumpers, the neckband on both jumpers, and they're both looking really, really nice. Okay, so while I was off camera, I did spray my jumpers, my jumpsuits, with some distilled water to get the blue fabric marking pin off of the front because I don't need that any longer. But thank you.